I'm here unannounced as usual. My multidimensional self and my higher self likes me to do these. Now I have feedback. Feel like David Wilcock again. My favorite person to make fun of. Some of you know that already. I'm here to talk about the energetic, the energetic portal of 333, that the energy started filtering in, I would say probably 2 days ago for me. And so I want to talk about that. I'm surprised I can actually see if there's anyone here, because like I mentioned in the last video, I cracked my phone really good the last time I dropped it. The last time I dropped it, I was running and it actually hit the corner and it shattered the whole top bar where I can see my battery charging, who's here, all of that. So, as you know, I'm shy and I'm not a huge fan of making unannounced videos. I'm also not a huge fan of getting live in front of the camera without material, but higher self keeps asking me to do that. Now, I had a conversation with a couple of my friends, and they're really curious why I'm going on here and doing this live as opposed to pre-recording it. And I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is I don't have any type of computer, so I'm doing all of this on my phone, and that meant prior that somebody else had to help and had to run my YouTube channel for me and download all my videos for me. And we were just getting way, way, way behind on videos, and I don't like to do that because I feel like whatever I'm coming to you to say to you right now is kind of important for right now or for this 24-hour period. So the biggest reason I go live is it requires me to not have to use anything other than my phone. I don't have to download videos. I can just do it straight. I don't have to wait for it. The other reason is higher self has given me specific instructions for what they would like me to do. And that is for me to talk and to channel messages without having a pre-described thing to say. So that's where I'm going to start with that. And it looks like there's nobody here, but that's fine. The energy of 333 is all about the mind, the body, and the spirit connection. As we know, in this time of ascension, there's not anything that's more important than the body, mind, and soul connection for us right now. So the mind, body, soul connection is a big part of what is being amplified. The 2/2/2022 energy, as I said last time, will be here for this entire year. That's all about cooperative events. That's all about working with other people. That's all about getting in alignment in your interpersonal relationships and in your life. Now, when I talked about last time how important it was to be in alignment with your heart and to be in alignment with your soul, there's a very, very big component to that I was not understanding. But when I woke up yesterday, what I was told was this: our DNA coming online and being activated and all those supercharged changes that are happening right now are not happening because of our pineal gland like we've been told so many times. Our DNA is actually being pulled into or magnetized into alignment by being in alignment with our soul's purpose. That again is people, places, and things. It's not just one thing or one genre of information that pulls us together. Whenever we are following our heart and following our soul, we are magnetizing not only into our lives what we need to move forward into this ascension process, we are also magnetizing, we are electromagnetically magnetizing the activation of our DNA by being in alignment. So our DNA is activated by our chosen soul alignment. Yes, the pineal gland is involved, but the pineal gland is stimulated. First is the soul, then the DNA activation, and then the pineal gland. Now, some of the things that will happen when your pineal gland starts to activate, and I'm sure you guys have been going through this for quite a while now. Excuse me, I had a couple of bites of Chinese food and I've been losing my voice ever since. I don't know what that's about, but thank you very much for that, Tom and Lynn. So again, our DNA is being activated by being in alignment with the magnetism of our soul's desires. And those are the things that most of the things that we chose before we came in here. Now, we're starting to recognize people, and we're also starting to recognize situations. So people and situations, for some people it'll even be geographical locations, are being pulled to us for a very specific reason. And that is, a lot of it has to do with things that we have worked with before, ideas or concepts or missions, things that we've come in to do over and over again. We've also worked with some of the same people over and over again. So we're starting to really meet people, and we've been meeting people most specifically in the last couple years, but in the last couple months, it's definitely been much stronger. That aspect of meeting people that you just instantly are drawn to, that you instantly feel like you know. These people instantly feel like just an amazing comfort zone to you. These people feel like home to you. And that is designed for a very specific reason, because we are working together. We are activating people together. And if you've probably noticed in conversations, you'll be talking to someone. And if you feel really comfortable in that situation and you feel really comfortable in that conversation, you'll notice that information starts coming to you and starts flowing back and forth between two people. And this is information that comes from your personal Akashic record. You could be and will be in the middle of a conversation, and you'll hear things come out of your mouth that you had no prior concept or actualization of before you had that conversation. Again, these people that we're drawn to from past lives feel like home. And it's very hard to disregard something that feels like home. So hopefully you guys are in alignment with the process of recognition. At the stage of ascension, a lot that's going on has to do with recognition. Where do I feel like home? Where do I feel comfortable? Where is my conversation really supercharged? Where is my conversation really pulling in things from my multidimensional self or from my higher self that I didn't know prior to having a conversation with this person? And that's why we're so drawn to those people, because it feels amazing to have an open dialogue and open conversation. But it's the expansion of it. It's the expansion of when I feel safe, when I feel like home, I can pull in all this amazing information, and the other person will do that too. And if you're really comfortable with that other person, You will also start accessing things from their Akashic record and information from their higher self. It may sound a little bit complicated, but it's really easy. These conversations flow so super easy. And that's the first thing that higher self wanted me to deliver to you tonight, is to make sure that we are allowing and inviting this kind of expanded conscious awareness conversation into our life. Magnetism is playing a huge role in this 3-3 portal. And again, it's partially connected to the DNA, but it's also partially connected to the things that you've chosen prior to come in here. So don't miss out on it. Don't skip out on it out of fear of the unknown. It's really important not to hold yourself back from self-expression. It's hard for everyone on the first wave of ascension because you're at the point where you're gaining knowledge and awareness of things that most people cannot even begin to grasp or understand. So a lot of times we're dumbing down what we know in order to navigate the third dimensional conversation that takes place in our life. This 3-3 portal is all about body, mind, and soul connection. It's also about creativity, communication, and optimism. And it's also about the past, the present, and the future. And as you know, really, time only exists in the third dimension. So if your state alone or in a conversation with someone else is above the third dimension, you don't have a concept of time. You can easily be messaging someone for 6 hours because of that flow for past, present, and future. It's also the reason why we recognize some people. And I've actually sometimes not known when I've seen something or heard a telepathic conversation with another person, if it's something that's in the future, if it's something that's happening right now, or if it's because of the extreme amount of bleed through that we also may have people talking to us in a multidimensional way, which we're also picking up on. It's hard sometimes to get out of the monkey mind, but it's important to just relax and know that whether that is something with that person that's happening in the future, something that telepathically is happening now, or something from a past life, it's not really important, because having that thought, that time and space restraint, pulls us out of being in the information of what's coming through in the now. And whether it's past, present, or future, the most important thing is what is filtering in right now, because that is truly the biggest gift we have in this moment, is allowing those things to filter in. Now, all of my videos come from me allowing to and inviting to have things filter in. I know when I had this discussion, right, with my multidimensional self, it's like, well, I don't really like to sit in front of the camera and go live and not have a specific thing to talk about. It makes me nervous, all these other things. And the suggestion from higher self on that was this: just pretend, as you're looking at yourself in the camera, that you're sitting across the table from the love of your life and having dinner, and just talk just like you would talk to that person. So that's what I do, and that does help me a little bit, just to pretend that I'm just having dinner with one person and not talking to a large group of people, because as I've mentioned, always been so super shy. Breaking out of that right now. right here and right now. Trying very hard anyway to do that. The next thing that came through that I was asked to speak to you about was about the richness of our manifestation and how important it is to, in your job, but even more than in your job, especially if you're 8, 10, 12 hours a day at a place that you feel comfortable in your skin, and not do things that feel really out of alignment with you. And I know I keep talking about this and keep reiterating it because I keep getting asked to bring it up over and over again. But they said more importantly, even than that, is that you feel totally comfortable and at ease. You know, a lot of times when we're driving or when we're in public or when we're shopping, we don't feel at ease. We feel like we have to have our guard up and stuff like that. We all know that feeling, especially being empathic. Sometimes public places can be hard. But what Spirit really wants you to know is the most important thing is your home. That's where you spend so much of your time. So be really comfortable in your home. Don't have all these things that you don't need. Don't hold on to things for just the sake of this is a memory or this used to belong to someone else. It just don't hold on to things that bring you joy. And the most important thing about that is being comfortable in your own space. You know, your home is the place where you're supposed to be loved and cherished. You know, I live by myself, but that doesn't make a difference. It's still the same thing. Like my house is always clean. I'm always organized. There's always something burning in here. My neighbor will tell you I like sage a little bit too much. But it's super, super important to be in relationships within your home that are a dynamic where you do not have to have your guard up. It's very important for you to be stress-free and be relaxed and be at ease and at peace in your surroundings. We don't all have that. I know that. I do, but I know that there are a lot of people that don't have it, or I wouldn't be asked to talk about it again. The importance, and they're saying right now, the most important thing that you can do in your home, in your personal space, whether that is a van by the river, a house, a condominium, apartment, doesn't matter. Be comfortable in your own setting, in your own home. Be around people that are peaceful, because with the amount of magnetic changes in our body, with the amount of DNA upgrades and DNA changes in our body, it's so super important for us to be in a relaxed state in our home where these things can come through to us in a natural state where we're not arguing or focusing on things that our own spirit, our own soul doesn't want us to focus on right now. The other thing was I'm being called to the Ace of Swords and the Tarot, which is saying I will take the stance of an all new beginning in my mental clarity, that I will be mentally clear and change directions anytime anything that I'm doing does not serve me in my life, does anything that I'm not doing that does not serve my mental clarity and my state needs to really be eliminated. I know there's so many people that have sat with this, things related to this for so long. There are things that we are all doing that are really shuffling the codes that we are receiving. And I noticed being in a peaceful, silent state means that I am actually getting and downloading the codes 3 to 7 days before people on my same wave. And that's because the amount of peace in my home. So that's really important. The other thing that it keeps coming through is about communication. And for a multitude of reasons, communication can be extremely difficult right now. We're triggering each other, we're activating each other. Sometimes we have very fiery, heated discussions. And that's going to happen. We cannot, I don't think we can eliminate some fiery or some emotional conversations while we are going through these kinds of downloads and upgrades. I just think that it's not possible. But remember, it's really easy to tell someone that you're sorry, or it's really easy to tell someone that you're triggered or you're going through an activation. I've gone through this too. I mean, people on the first wave, they're also going through it. They're very understanding and they know because they're going through that exact same thing. So again, communication is really, really key right now to be the best communicator that you can. And if you don't understand what someone is saying, if you don't understand what someone is feeling, ask them to elaborate. That's the best thing that you can do. A lot of us have been hermiting, and I've been talking about this for the last several months. We're really into this state where it feels more comfortable to be alone. It feels more comfortable to allow what we need to allow to just come in and filter into our lives without running it past other people, without discussing it with other people. But Spirit reminds us that there's so much going on in this world that we really need to start jumping into and taking care of, that it's time for us to really back out of that hermit mode. Okay, hermit mode is like, I have this brilliant light within me, so I'm going to go within all the time and I'm not going to express myself to other people. But this is the time of holy trinity of assistance. And at the basic necessity, I was shown today that the most important thing about this 3-3 portal is the Holy Trinity. So I have an energy. I come to talk to you. You have an energy. Together, your energy, my energy creates a third energy. I myself have an energy. I work with the universe that has an energy that creates a third energy. So we're doing this in every second of the day. I'm doing it when I talk to you. I'm doing it when I work with the universe. I'm creating a third energy when I use my energy to be in this symbiotic exchange or this prayer or meditation with the grids. Myself and the grids are creating a third energy. Myself and you are creating a third energy. Myself and the universe are creating this third energy. So be in your self-expression at your strongest, at your most clear, and really walk away from situations that aren't mentally clear. Because remember, every time you're arguing with someone, you're creating a third energy and you're sending that out into the universe, which is bringing more disharmony and more argument back to you. Now, at the same time, and on the other side of that coin, you could also feel really frustrated or feel internally very argumentative, but not express yourself because you don't want to create more strain. But Spirit says that is also creating a third energy, right? So you're creating an upheaval or an uncomfortable third energy that's not expressed, that's held in. And that's definitely not the way to go. What we don't want to hold in and hold back from our personal self-expression, because our personal self-expression is coming from the heart, it's coming from the soul, it's creating a third energy which is going out into the universe. So this 3-3 portal is exaggerating, magnetizing this third energy that we are creating with everything. We also create that third energy with nature and everything in our surroundings when we are outside. This 3-3 gateway is a huge shift in multidimensionality, huge. And it just started coming to me today, and I really thought, maybe I'll sit on this for a couple of days and not make a video on this right now till I know what it means. But of course, I'm listening to my guidance and what I am pressed to do in that moment. And so that's how I'm doing it. For a lot of us that have been experiencing some unusual things and not sure where they're coming from, this is something I was asked to share with you. The soul alignment being connected to the DNA activation, then activating the third eye or the pineal gland. When that third eye gets activated, and it comes and goes, but it happens, I notice on portals, it's always super, super strong. And what happens when that pineal gland then gets activated from your DNA, you will see shapes of light right here in front of your face. You will see flickers of light. You will see flashes of color. You may see objects or flashes of color to the side of your eyes or out of the corner of your eyes. And you will also start to see geometric patterns, because we are going through a place in the photon belt that is full of new geometric patterns, and our pineal gland is also bringing us new geometric patterns, and the patterns in the pineal gland match the patterns that are in this new photonic belt that we're now traveling through. Okay, this is where all this energy is coming through. To activate us, to magnetize us. And the last thing that I'm asked to talk to you about is judgment and the resurrection of things, people, places, and things. I love talking about people, places, and things. So, making a judgment. When you make a judgment on yourself, or even on another person, or your situation with another person, making a judgment is only the first step in actually making that judgment. The reason you're looking at that, the reason that Spirit wants you to make that judgment is not so you can judge yourself, the other person, or the situation, but that comes up, that's coming up for assessment, that's coming up for reassessment, okay? What the judgment really speaks about is, what in my life do I want to put to bed? Do I want to put to sleep? Do I want to eliminate from my life? What do I want to bury? What no longer serves me? But judgment on the other side of that coin is the exact opposite. What have I always loved? People, places, and things that activate me, that bring me joy, that bring me love, that bring me that immense, beautiful feeling of being at home. So judgment also speaks about, what do I need to bring back into my life? What do I need to raise from the dead of my life? What things do I miss in my life? What things that I used to do inspire me? What people that I love do I need to reach out to and speak to? So those kinds of things. Again, remember, for you, when that judgment comes up, it's not coming up just for you to ignore it. Now, we've been told by the spiritual community for the last several years that we shouldn't make judgments on people, places, or things. And that's totally not correct. The judgment comes up for you so that you can reevaluate what you need in your life to put to rest, or what you need in your life to resurrect. That is what the judgment is all about. We are here not just because of soul contracts or karmic contracts, or agreements that we made prior to coming here. That's just a small piece of it. We're here to be happy. We're here to magnetize joy. We're here to magnetize love for self, love for others, love for nature. Okay, we didn't just drop in as a light worker that, oh, I'm so tired of doing this, I'm so tired of being here. If you feel that way, it's because you need to incorporate more love and more joyous people, places, and things, and more loving people, places, and things into your life instead of just looking at it about being about sharing information or waking people up or using your discernment all day long to go back and forth to read and listen to things. It's all about us being here in the moment. And we know we're here in the moment, but we really need to be in the moment, in the moment. And that's the biggest reason higher self wants me to come on here and not have a script. Because, somebody asked me, and a couple people have asked me this, why not write? Your articles seem to really get out there more than your videos. Because if I was going to do it that way, I would have to make a video, rewatch it, write it down, do the dialogue, and write an article. Because you guys, I have almost no idea what I'm going to talk about anymore. When I sit in front of the camera for the last 6 weeks, I probably sit down with 2 or 3, at most 4 sentences of things that I need to talk to you about. I get shifty, I close my eyes, and I start channeling in whatever needs to come to our particular group for their particular moment to be catalyzed. That is why I'm here. The sound of my voice can catalyze you. The vibrational frequency that comes from my heart and from my soul is a catalyst to you. The words that are channeled that come out of my mouth, they are a catalyst for you. So that's why I do it that way. And in the same respect, someone said to me a couple of days ago, why go live? You can just, do it yourself and then edit it, and then you don't have to worry about being nervous and doing all this other stuff. But again, I also am reading the energy for people who are watching, the people who are online. And sometimes even though on YouTube it's weird because I can't see who is here, I can pick up your energy and things may come out just specifically that you need to hear. So while it's a little bit nerve-wracking to me, I'm getting a little bit more used to it now. I don't want to start, this isn't Ancient Aliens. This is not something big like that. And so for me, the most important thing is for it to be raw and authentic and organic, not to be perfect, not to have the perfect set or the perfect lighting, or the perfect background. The idea is for me to drop into my heart and drop into my soul and deliver what it is you need me to deliver. And the last thing that I want to mention is how our self-confidence right now is altering everything in our reality. What I think I can have, what I feel I can have is coming to me. Self-confidence. Don't say, no, I can't have that. No, I can't have that. This is a funny side note. So I ordered something from the universe today and I pulled into the driveway tonight. And there was a box from UPS laying in my lawn. And I thought, wow, that was a pretty quick manifestation. So I got out and picked up the box and put it in the car and drove back and pulled into my parking spot. When I got out of the car, I opened the box and it said urgent, urgent, urgent. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I opened the box and there's a bag shoved in the bottom of the box. The interesting part was there was no name. It was a shipping box from UPS, but there was no name and no address, because I thought, well, I'll see which one of my litter bug neighbors dropped this in my yard, but no name, no address, no clue what was in it or where it even came from. There was literally nothing. It was just an empty box laying there. So maybe next time with my manifestation. All right, guys, I'm sure I will talk to you soon. Thank you for being here on planet Earth at this most crazy and auspicious time. I'm sending you joy. I'm sending you love. And I'm sending you a message to be as peaceful and loving in your own home, where you magnify and send out to the universe everything within your heart space, within your soul space, and within your home is being magnetized and sent out into the universe. Thank you for being here. Bye.